What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind, sports talk. All right, check it out, man. Check it out. Uh, I just want to talk about some random topics this morning. Asher Steele in the building. Good morning, D. Salute, fam. Shout out from Nebraska. 4 houses down from Bud. That's what's up, bro. 4 houses down from Terrence, Bud, Crawford. Good shit. Yeah, man. Yeah. Uh, Appreciate you sliding through. Hector, what's good with you? Mi hermano, been a while since I seen you, Hector. Good to see you back, brother. What's up with you? All right, so check it out, man. I want to talk about Ryan Javier Fortuna. We're gonna talk about Demetrius Andrade tomorrow again because I'm doing the pre-fight live for this weekend. We want to give some predictions and everything. I also want to talk about Terence Crawford in this Manny Pacquiao situation that's going on. And then one time, actually, Keith once upon a time Thurman. I want to talk about him a little bit this morning as well. Alcides Fuentes, mi hermano, what's good with you? What's up? What's up, brother? Appreciate you sliding through. Will in the building. What's doing? Man, I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. I got to take my daughter to school this morning. They have some testing going on that has to be done in the school. At least this is what they say. So, whatever, man. Got to take her in this morning. But I'm getting ready to, let me switch this onto my mobile real quick. And then we're going to crank this up. Well, anyway, we can crank up now while I'm doing this. Let's see, where should I start here? I want to start with this Keith Thurman. What's this Keith Thurman situation and everything? And here's the thing. Here's the thing with Keith. All right, hold on, guys. I don't want the sound to go crazy. Hold on. All right. I'll make sure y'all can hear me, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I want to switch to my phone real quick. Okay, so here we go. Keith Thurman. All right, boom. So Keith Thurman, man. Jaron Ennis boots, actually. This is where Keith Thurman comes to play in this conversation this morning. Jaron Ennis boots just came out with a Twitter post. You know, he's going after two names right now. I guess he knows he's not going to get Crawford, especially with Crawford being locked up, potentially getting a Manny Pacquiao deal. Nobody's getting Crawford besides Pacquiao, you know, not even Errol Spence, because none of those guys are going to turn down a Crawford fight. I mean, a Pacquiao fight. Errol Spence would have fought Terence Pacquiao before he fought Crawford. No one would have bitched him on about that either, because Manny Pacquiao is a legend. Nobody wants to turn down that fight. Even when it was talks about Ryan Garcia supposedly taking on Manny Pacquiao, you know, people were going to give him passes. So having a Pacquiao fight, taking a Pacquiao fight is, you know, priority. I'll see this. Appreciate you, fam. Big time. He said, what do you think about Thurman Ennis? Actually, that's what I was just about to talk about, brother. You're right on point. So, if that fight was to happen, get your computer and stuff, baby. If Keith Thurman, huh? Okay, where's the charger to it? Get the charger, but I want you to take, hold on for a second, guys. Sorry. Take both computers. Take this one and the one that my computer that I'm letting you use. You can turn that in, but if they don't have one, you're going to need a computer to work with. All right? So just take both of them. Huh? What I tell you to do? Okay, just take both of them. Stop being so difficult. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So, Jaron in his boots was saying how he wants a crack at either Keith Once Upon a Time Thurman or your Dennis Ugas. Now, here's where it gets silly because Jaron in his boots and his camp know damn well that the PBC with Terence Crawford going over there to potentially fight Manny Pacquiao. Go back. With Terence Crawford potentially going over there to fight Manny Pacquiao, no way he gets your Dennis Ugas. No way he gets that fight. Cadillo, we're not leaving yet. No way the PBC is going to let anything come in. See, this is what I'm saying about Brian Castano. Gotta let the car warm. This is what I'm saying about Brian Castano. Freaking and Jamel Charlo, right? Nobody, they're not gonna let Tim Tszyu down in Australia come in the way of that matchup. It's all about, like, the fans tend to forget that it's about belts too. These promotional companies and networks having control of those belts being in their and their organization. So with Jaron in his boots, bro, you're not getting in front of that third belt with Spence. And there's no way the PBC would allow you to do that. They're going to finagle whatever kind of deal, put up whatever kind of money. No way they're going to allow Jaron in his boots to get in front of Errol Spence and your Dennis Ugas. The IBF not going to help them out. IBF definitely not going to help them out. The IBF could, because we all know that they'll strip. So Jaron in his boots should be moving up to third because he just beat Sergey Lipinets. He should be moving up to third in that sanctioning body. He was actually ranked number 8, I think 8 or 9, prior to fighting Lipinets. So he beat Lipinets, which Lipinets was at third. But Sean Porter is at the second spot because Kudratilo Abdulkakarov is at the first spot. He's the number 1, which he and Sergey Lipinets were supposed to be in a title eliminator. They couldn't put Sean Porter there because he just lost the belt to Errol Spence. So what had happened back when was Kudratilo Abdulkakarov and Sergey Lipinets was supposed to have an eliminator to get to Errol Spence. Well, that fight fell apart, and Sergey Lipinets ended up having to fight Custio Clayton. Now, that person would have been elevated to mandatory. However, that came to a majority draw, so it threw off that whole situation with the IBF and Spence having a mandatory. A lot of people wonder about, well, why don't Spence have a mandatory? You know, I've heard that come up because the time is up. Last time he fought his mandatory was Carlos Ocampo for the IBF. So the time has come up. Why doesn't Spence have a mandatory? Well, that's why he doesn't have a mandatory. Right there. It was supposed to be a mandatory established with Kudratilo Abdulkakarov, the winner of Kudratilo Abdulkakarov and Sergey Lipinets. However, they did not fight. They did not fight. And then it was supposed to be another eliminator, which he would have had a mandatory when Custio Clayton and Sergey Lipinets fought, but it came to a majority draw. So there was no winner. So this is what's delaying the Errol Spence mandatory that's being set by the IBF. However, the IBF is not going to help Jaron in his boots out because Jaron in his boots and Sergey Lipinets was not an eliminator. They're not going to bump Kudratilo Abdulkakarov. And then you got Sean Porter sitting in the second spot. Hell, he would probably like a rematch. No way the IBF is going to help Boots out. So what is the option? Keith Once Upon a Time Thurman. Here's my issue with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman overvalues himself in boxing today. You know, he feels like he's worth way more money than he's actually worth. You're not going to put no pants. Come He feel like he's worth way more money than he is. You got some smoke. Let me buy 10. All right, good. We'll go get some because we on base. Yeah, we could just do it when we come back. Come on. Let's go. That mask is torn up, huh? 10. Yeah. You want to just wait till I bring her back from the school? All right, I'll be right back. Come on, baby. All right, so love you too. So Jaron in his boots. Sorry about that, guys. I'm in the middle. I gotta take my daughter to school and all of that. But so Jaron in his boots and freaking Jesus, this child. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So Jaron in his boots and you guys, that's not gonna happen, man. That fight's not going to happen. I'm wondering if Keith Thurman is going to even take the fight with Jaron in his boots, because here's my problem with Keith Thurman, and everybody knows this. Keith Thurman for a while now has not been about fighting the dangerous guys. And don't get me wrong, when that stuff happened with Errol Spence and all of that, I believe that, you know, Spence was the dangerous guy and Keith Thurman knew it. And it was more comfortable for him to fight. See, Keith Thurman is a boxer. He's a boxer puncher. He has power, but boxer. He's a skilled fighter. So when you're in the ring, so either Keith Thurman is going to want to get in the ring with somebody he's more comfortable with, or get in the ring with somebody who's going to bring him a hell of a lot of money. Neither one of those are Jaron in his boots. So I'm really interested to see if Keith Thurman takes the challenge, which when you let Keith Thurman tell it, he'll tell you right off the bat, well, he's proven it. He's done everything else. Jaron in his boots got to come up. I could imagine what Keith Thurman would say to not fight Jaron in his boots. Look what he said about Terence Bud Crawford. When Terence Bud Crawford, when he was sitting on the stage with Mikey, this was a while back, guys, before he fought Pacquiao and everything. And he was asked about Terence Bud Crawford. And he said Terence Bud Crawford still got to do something. I think that was prior to him going into the, or that was after him, it was either going into the Josecito Lopez fight or coming out of the Josecito Lopez fight. He was talking about how Terence Crawford had to do something. As a matter of fact, it was going into the Josecito Lopez fight because they were asking Terence Crawford, one time Thurman, after he will fight Josecito Lopez, what would he be looking to do should he be successful in that fight? And Crawford came up. And then that's when Bud backtracked from Crawford and started talking about he needs to do something. And look, you know, I just gave Teofimo Lopez heat for that when he said that about Devin Haney. You know, like Devin still needs to do something. Bro, the same heat that I gave to Teofimo Lopez is the same heat that I give to any fighter, bro. Especially when you're a high caliber fighter or you're a champion. Man, you don't worry about who the next guy, what they have to do. Like, this is Spence, Crawford need to go get a belt. All of this whole idea about what another fighter needs to do is absolutely ridiculous, bro. And I don't really care where it comes from. Errol Spence, Terence, Crawford, Manny can do what he wants. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Keith Thurman, Teofimo Lopez. I don't care who puts that nonsense out there. No fighter has to do anything. If a fighter is not of your caliber, then beat his ass and show him he's not of your caliber. Beat him up real good and show him he is not of your caliber. That's what you do to fighters that's not of your caliber. You don't say that you're not going to fight them. You don't say that they don't deserve to fight you. Right? So I never really accepted that. And I don't accept it from Keith Thurman, Teofimo Lopez, or anyone. All right, love. Y'all get out at 10:30, right? Okay. You got both chargers? All right. Okay, baby. I'll see you at 10:30. Love you too. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me what fighter says that. That's foolishness in the sport of boxing, man. You got to fight the guys who I can't respond to the comments right now, guys. I'm driving. But I'll get at them as soon as I get back. But you got to fight the guys who is in your path, regardless. Now, one thing I will say about Keith Thurman versus Jaron Ennis boots, I do feel like Keith Thurman has done enough to earn his chips. He's already, he has stock in this game. So he's done enough to earn his chips. And I don't know who's going to put the fight together, but Keith Thurman can't get into no fight. I mean, let's be honest, guys. We can't expect Keith Thurman to get into no fight for $1 million or something like that. Like, that's just, look, he's got too much. He's done too much in this sport. He just come off a fight with Manny Pacquiao, win, lose, or draw. So he has a certain value in him. And I'm not sure if Jaron in his boots brings that value to the table. But here's the thing with Keith Thurman, because it's a two-edged sword. If you don't fight Jaron in his boots, what the hell are you going to do? Because, dude, you're a little long in the tooth. You ain't no spring chicken. You stay getting injured. So what is it going to be? Are you just going to retire? Because if it's not Jaron in his boots, you're not going to get Spencer Crawford like you're clamoring on about. Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight you. He's not going to give you a rematch. Hell, even if Manny and Crawford don't fight, Manny will probably go in the direction of Mikey Garcia or something like that. So what is Keith Thurman going to do if he doesn't take the Jaron in his boots fight? That's an interesting thought. What is he going to do if he don't take that fight? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say about Keith Thurman. We're probably going to end up going like an hour and a half too, guys, because I want to cook on these other topics a little bit, which is probably going to take more than an hour. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that with Keith Thurman and everything. Potential, because Jaron and his boots is calling out for Ugas and Thurman. That's what he's looking for. Those two fights. Not to say that he'll get either of them. Definitely, I don't really have any faith that he'll get your Dennis Ugas fight. He's ranked in the IBF. They're not going to help him out with a mandatory for Spence. He'll get no help from the IBF. And as far as your Dennis Ugas, he's in the WBA, which Jaron in his boots is not carrying any weight over in the WBA. So I don't see how he gets that fight. Look, there's another thing too that people are saying. Does Jaron in his boots deserve a fight? And I'll say this. Sure he does. Sure he deserves a fight. With a champion too. Does he deserve a championship match? Sure he does. He does, and Virgil do. Because to me, they've done enough. He has enough fights. He might not have the high caliber fights, but he has enough fights. He's won them all, and he just beat a high caliber opponent, a guy who was ranked number 3 in the IBF, also ranked pretty fairly all around the welterweight division in Sergey Lipinets. So sure, he deserves it. He deserves it. But when fans start talking about, what fighter deserves enough to get in the way of what's already in place. See, fans run around talking about, he deserves a fight and think that that's it. It ends there. No, it doesn't end there. Does he deserve to get in the way? Like, has he done enough to say, okay, it's valid for Jaron and his boots to get in between Errol Spence and that's going to be an immediate hell no, he doesn't. Hell no. He ain't done that. He beat Sergey Lipin yet. So he doesn't have he hasn't done enough to say, okay, well, he deserves to get in between that fight. No, he got to sit in line and wait. Does he deserve to get in between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence? The fans will go ape shit. If Errol Spence fights Ugas and then takes on Boots next, or hell, even if Crawford fights Pacquiao and takes on Boots next, either of those guys will get flamed for fighting Boots instead of fighting for 4-belt undisputed, a legacy fight. Not to mention, you're talking about millions of dollars of difference. Both of those guys will probably get their minimums and bonus if it applies. Bonus probably applies to Spence. I'm not sure how much so with Crawford and Bob Arum's greedy ass. But they'll get the bare minimum to fight Boots. They're not going to open the checkbook to fight Boots, to fight each other. That's the second biggest fight in boxing. So does Boots deserve a championship match? Sure. We can't say he doesn't deserve a championship match. Does he have what it takes to get in the middle of that match? Hell to the no. That's the problem. Asher Steele, all right, I'm back at the house now. I said, Asher Steele said, I got to take my daughter to school also. I'm headed to the lake. Yeah, we'll still definitely be listening. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. Dizzle in the building. Ayo, what's good with you, Dizzle? What's good? Hey, it's me again, JD Boxing. My man Jakal in the building. What's good? What's good? Martin Ramos, mi hermano, what's good with you? G-Man Boxing. I love you, dog. G-Man always supporting. Shout out to G-Man. Big up every time. And if you haven't been over to G-Man Boxing, like I always say, what the hell you waiting on? Your loss, not mine. Ain't that right, G-Man? D Hodges, what's up? What up, D Jeff in chat? LDBC, salute, family. Salute to you too, D Hodges in the LDBC. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you sliding through. Martin Ramos says, didn't he just fight an IBF eliminator? No. That's what I was just explaining, Martin. You might have jumped in a little bit late. The IBF eliminator was supposed to be between Kujatilo Abdulkakarov and Sergey Lipinets, right? But that fight fell apart. That fight couldn't happen. I believe. I don't know if Kujatilo got COVID or something. I don't know, but something happened in that fight. Could not happen. So what the IBF did is they left Kujatilo at his spot. And they made the eliminator match between Castillo Clayton and Sergey Lipinets. That was going to be the IBF eliminator. And Kujatilo would have had a chance to get a crack at the winner of that, or he would have had first crack at the winner if one of those guys would have fought Spence. That's how it went down. Problem is, Martin, is that Castillo Clayton and Sergey Lipinets went to a draw. Nobody won. So they didn't have anyone who was entitled to that mandatory position for the IBF. Now, this is where the IBF sits at. There is no mandatory. That wasn't an eliminator match for Boots and Sergey Lipinets, right? So he has no rights. That's the thing. Through the IBF, he has no rights. People are just saying he deserves his shot. Sure. He deserves a shot. I won't argue that. But he hasn't done enough to get in the way of anything. That's the thing. To make a demand, no, I need to get this shot first. No. People can say, well, they're not putting on Spence Crawford anyway. So the fuck what, bro? That's business. That's Bob and Al marinating this thing and not wanting to put the fight on because of fans. That don't have anything to do with Boots deserving a shot or Boots not deserving a shot. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Politics kills the sport. In the fights we want to get, we understand that, but you still got to understand the politics and why certain things are not going to happen. And Boots has no power. He has no stock. He's only beaten Lipinets and 24 low-level fighters. Yes, he has the skills. He looks good. He deserves a shot. But he can't. He doesn't. He hasn't done anything, and he doesn't have enough stock to step in the way of any of these major guys. Period. Just that simple. Or anything that the promoters and the networks want to do to make money. If he has stock in him where he can make a ton of money off of his name, I can guarantee you they would probably make some moves because money talks, and y'all know the rest. But he doesn't have any of that with him. Chin Smoke, what's good with you? Will said, I ain't paying for no more Spencer Crawford fights unless they get it on. Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. I'm happy to pay for a young up-and-comer like Ennis to take on some old. Yo, that's fair enough, Chin. That's fair enough. Because if we keep supporting Spence and Crawford, well, I will say this, Will. I agree with you outside of Manny Crawford. It's like, yeah, I won't really pay for Crawford, dude. But Manny Crawford, bro, you got me bent, dog. I'll pay for that all day. I ain't even gonna lie. And I think you would too, Will. We'll have to make a pass on that one, Will. But no, I feel what you're saying, though. I'm not going to pay for these senseless fights when we're not getting the fight that we want to get. You know what I mean? Yeah, all day long. All day long. So, hold on. I got lost on the. All right, there we go. Dang, Lipin, yes, was third. Yeah, he was ranked number 3 in the IBF. He sure was. Now, I guess Boots going to take that ranking because there's no way they're going to bump Sean Porter. Boots has beat Lipin, yes, but he ain't done enough to go past Sean Porter. And Kujatito Abdul-Kakarov hasn't done anything to lose his number 1 ranking. So it's not like they're just going to take him out of the number 1 ranking because he had corona attack. So Boots has got to be stuck at number 3. I don't think logically they could put him any higher than number 3 because you can't put him past Sean. Sean's done it all. He's a former champion. He's fought all of the guys. Boots has done nothing. 0. So he's working his way up, but he can't go ahead of Sean Porter on that ranking. So that's actually kind of fair, which, you know, those rankings get screwy, but that situation and how they have it, I don't know if their rankings is all screwed up, but at least the situation with Boots not going past Porter or Abdul-Kakarov is fair. Although I think that he may beat him. I know he'll beat Abdul-Kakarov, and he and Sean Porter will be pretty interesting. So, but still, he's number 3. 1 time's hiatus softened him. Yeah, that's why he's once upon a time to me now. Keith, once upon a time, Thurman. Albanian boxer in the building. What's good with you? Flory and Marku, motherfuckers. That's right, Albanian. We're going to keep pushing Flory and let him know. Albanian says Jake Paul or Ben Askren. Jake Paul. Ben Askren was never really a good striker. I was looking at him on Instagram last night, actually. And I will be honest. Ben Askren's been working really hard. And you know what makes the fight interesting, if any? I mean, just interesting competitive-wise. I'm not interested in that fight at all. But what makes the fight interesting, or I would say intriguing competitive-wise, because I'm not interested. What makes it intriguing on the competition level is the fact that these guys, Jake Paul and Ben Askren, they're both green, right, when it comes to boxing. But Ben Askren is, as far as timing, getting hit, fighting, man. Boxing is a science, but it's a science of combat sports. You understand? Ben has the experience there, going into deep waters, pulling through when the chips get down, shit get hard. Ben has all the experience there. We don't know. Jake Paul he green as grass. We don't know what happens when this kid gets in trouble. What happens if Ben Askren hits him with a good shot and Jake Paul get in trouble? Everything he learned in that gym could go right out the window. We see fighters that's been fighting 30 fights, 25, 30 fights under their belt, been in this game for a minute, but they've been winning. And then they get hit and hurt. And the way they respond is out of whack. They look like a fighter that you've never seen before because they got hit with that big shot. change the whole complexion of the fight. The other guy takes over and starts to take control. We've seen that happen to boxers who have a lot of experience, who've been down this road. Jake hasn't. So it's too many questions. Yeah, we should expect Jake to win because I don't advocate for the Paul brothers or anything, but they've been around, involved, and practicing and studying the sweet science, fam, for years now. They're going on 4 years, both of these kids. So it's not like they're that green. Ben Askren was never the best striker in the UFC, and how I am impressed with the work that he's been doing in the gym, because he's been working really hard at boxing. And a guy that's been involved in combat sports, is what I'm saying, is it's going to be easier for guys like that to pick up. Also, it's not like Ben Askren and a lot of these guys haven't taken up boxing throughout their careers. They most certainly have. A lot of UFC guys do that, especially wrestlers like Ben Askren, because they want to move into their striking game. So this is not the first time that Ben Askren has had gloves on or have been in that ring. Trust and believe. And that's probably all I want to talk about that fight, Albanian boxer. Probably talked about it much more than I would have preferred. So, hell no, ponytail Keith wouldn't fight Boots. Keith wants the last paycheck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Boots has the two targets, the two guys that he has that he's looking at is far-fetched. Boots gonna have to figure something out, because Keith Thurman, I don't know. I'm with you on that, Andre. What's up with you anyway, Andre? Ronald Finkley, what's up, brother? Realist Boxing Talk, top of the morning, speaking mind sports talk worldwide. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Maestro, my man Emil Carr. Hey, everybody, please get over to Emil Carr's channel, man. We are trying to get this thing blown up, bro. Y'all gotta check out my man Emil Carr. Y'all don't have to, but I'm asking you guys to check out Emil Carr, man. I guarantee you guys will like what he has to say. He's very reasonable. Call it straight down the line. That's why he's part of the Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family. You ready? Just break it out, Tim, for me. Wow. I know, but that's all right. Use your cat eye. Use your cat eye. Raider from LA, what's good? What's good? Maestro says, also getting ready for school. Oh yeah, well, you be teaching our kids, man. We love you, dog. You help us. You help our kids learn. Blessings to you, bro. Big ups to you and all the teachers. Y'all underpaid, undervalued, and it makes no sense. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, Maestro. My daughter says facts. See? She even knows. Y'all underappreciated. The way for all the fighters that really want to test their market value, hit with the Triller. Man, hey, Ron, start a page up. Get on it. Start promoting Triller, dog. Ronald Finkley, Triller specialist. Julie X Games, what's good? Boots in front of Virgil. Yeah, but Virgil ain't a factor either. He got the same problem Boots got. He's not stepping in front of no fight. Boots in front of Virgil, I don't know. Both of these guys, Virgil's done more, Virgil's proven more. So we could say Boots in front of Virgil, but whatever. That's hypothetical to those guys getting in the ring. In a fight, I would probably pick Boots. But it's a close fight, though. Dead Game, what's up? Porter will not fight Boots. We're not going to start that about Porter. Porter has shown more gumption than anybody in the welterweight division right now. Forget about the guys coming up, the up-and-comers. Spence was just as thirsty and hungry as Boots and Virgil at one time till he started getting that money and that belt and stuff. But what we're not going to do is sit up here and disrespect Porter at any level. What smoke has Porter turned down their game? And don't give me that stupid shit with Bob Arum trying to lowball him. Because that's what happened. Yeah, that's fine. That's what happened. I don't want to hear nothing about. We're not going to disrespect Porter. We're not going to do that, bro. Sean Porter has shown all the heart, willing to fight anybody put in front of him, willing to take the challenge. The whole Terence Crawford thing, come on, bro. They were friends. They really didn't want to fight each other, neither of them. So Sean turned it down first. They both agreed on it the second time. Then Crawford said he wasn't interested in Sean the third time. Now everybody wants to blame Sean Porter for not activating the mandatory. Get out of here, man. Sean Porter, man, we're not going to disrespect Sean Porter. We're not going to disrespect Sean Porter. Porter trying to beat up on Conor Bennett might backfire. Porter not trying to. Where you get that from, Ronald? I didn't hear anything about that. Conor Bennett's talking about fighting Conor Brook. Where you get that? Where you get that from? I haven't seen anything about that. Tony Harrison and Brian Perella. Yeah, 12 rounds, junior middleweights. Yeah, Tony Harrison's back. I'm really interested to see how Tony Harrison's looking. All right, guys, let me move on to the next topic. Terence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao. All right, check it out, man. Brian McIntyre, for all you guys that don't know, Bomac came out and said that, you know, a little while ago that there was no official word on the Terence Crawford fight. All he knows is that Terence Crawford is going to be fighting in June in the Middle East. Opponent yet to be announced. Well, just read an article last night. The delay, remember that video that I put up, and I can't put it on the screen, but all of the articles didn't even say anything but the fight was in talks. Well, there has been a delay to begin negotiations. Now, listen, guys, this is supposed to be June 5th. You got a lot of people running around doubting that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury won't happen. This is a $500 million fight. Not no $50 million fight. 10 times, literally 10 times the amount of money as Crawford and Pacquiao. $500 million. And because people don't get an announcement from Eddie Hearns, they're doubting that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will happen. Well, where the hell is the doubt for Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford when they have not even begun negotiations, fam? The day for them to begin negotiating has been delayed. This fight is basically still in talks. And remember, guys, Bob Arum already had a line of opponents as a backup plan just in case Crawford didn't get the Pacquiao fight. My thing was, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't that be priority? Why wouldn't y'all make that fight happen? Why would you even have to put somebody in place? Do we get this fight with Crawford? You mean to tell me they have delayed in negotiations? Bomac says he doesn't know what's going on. Why the fight isn't getting done. He said he doesn't worry about that. He just trains his fighter. But the last report about this fight was that they were in talks. But the last word from Bob Arum was he was trying to get a deal done to negotiate the fight. That's it. At this point, that a fight with Pacquiao and Crawford are just in talks. So I still pose the question, do we get that fight? Are we going to get that fight with Pacquiao and Crawford? Are we? This is a question. This is a question we got to think about. I'm not sure, I'm not going to doubt the fight, but a fight of this magnitude, what worries me about this fight, because I want Crawford to get Manny Pacquiao. Let's get this shit out in the open. And I said this long ago when the whole conversation came up with Spencer Crawford and Pacquiao. I said long ago that I would much rather Terence Crawford get Pacquiao than Spence. And this is when Pacquiao had the belt. But the reason I said that, because of all of the foolishness the PBC is on. They be on so much bullshit, man, that if Spence would have gotten the Pacquiao fight and that third belt, man, look, how long would that shit have been delayed then? How much would they have tried to Jew Crawford down for pennies on the dollar because Spence has fought Pacquiao with all of that stock? He's sitting there with 3 belts. It would have been terrible. It would have been terrible for Crawford. That whole situation would have been no good, bro. If Crawford would have, you want these? All right. If Crawford would have, if Spence would have gotten Pacquiao. So I've always wanted Crawford to get the Pacquiao fight because of stock. Because to me, it just puts more heat on Al Heyman and those guys to make this fight happen. You know, while they messing around trying to build their side up. Because see, that's the business of it. They try to build their side up. I'm gonna go get a sushi right. You coming? Or I'm just right to the. I'll be back. That would have built the stock. That would have evened the playing field. But now, you know, hold on for a second. Yeah, that's what I always wanted, bro. I always wanted Crawford to get that fight, man. And I still do. And it's kind of unfortunate because, look, Spence is going over there to capture this third belt from your Dennis Ugas, right? Bro, if Crawford don't get this Pacquiao fight, the PBC, they're going to be stupid with this fight, bro. It's already, not just me, but most people already feeling like we're not getting this fight. That's most people. Man, come on, guys. If Crawford don't get this Pacquiao fight, I say this. That fight's a dead issue. It's like it's to the point where Crawford versus Pacquiao, Crawford versus Spence is almost a dead issue. Now, I've given up on having hope that we get that fight. I've given up hope on that fight. Let's put it that way. I've literally given up hope on that fight. If Crawford don't get Pacquiao, we ever get Spence Crawford, man. And all of this, which you're going to hear a lot of that dumb shit. Crawford ducking Spence. But I already know if he doesn't get that Pacquiao fight, he ain't going to have the value in him. They're already talking about these little silly pay-per-views and the fact that Spence done 3 and all of this and Crawford ain't done 1 and all of this nonsense. But if he don't get the Pacquiao fight, what does he have? He got 1 belt and no stock. And, all of that stupidness Spence was talking 80-20, like, that's ridiculous, bro. But you think that they wouldn't try to pull that kind of nonsense if Terence Crawford doesn't get the Manny Pacquiao fight? They definitely going to try to pull a 70-30 or 80-20. And, man, I'm telling you right now, that's unfair. I'll say it myself. I don't care if Spence got 3 belts. I don't care. 80-20, 70-30 is unfair. But that's the game they're going to try to push because it's all about money with these guys. And Crawford's not going to take it. Crawford's not going to deal with that. I bet my life on it. Crawford is not going to take no 80-20, 70-30. And it doesn't matter if Spence got those 3 belts and he doesn't fight Manny Pacquiao. So if Crawford doesn't get this Pacquiao fight, we could just go ahead, in my opinion, and wipe Spence Crawford right off the map. That fight doesn't happen. That's how I look at that, guys. Damn, this fucking Axel is. That's why I'm getting ready to get a new car. That's how I look at that, man. Again, the fight is like, what is it? 80% chance we don't get it, 20% we do. To me, that's where we at now with Crawford Spence, 80-20. And the 20% is that we do get the fight. 80% we don't get the fight. That's how I feel about the fight now. But I'm telling you guys now, if Bob Arum, I'm blaming Bob for this. If Bob Arum does not secure this Pacquiao fight, Spence and Crawford, I doubt it ever happens, bro. Because it's a lot of doubt. It's a lot of doubt when it comes to this fight right now, right? But if he don't get that fight for the stock is what's in question here, because he's going to have some kind of stock going to that negotiation table. That's one of the main things holding the fight up. They can't, Bob and Heyman don't want to put enough money in the pot so both of these guys will be satisfied because they don't want to risk losing money themselves, which is stupid to me. But outside of that, Terence Crawford, he doesn't carry any value, bro. Like, he's great. He's done it all, but he got no stock. He's not a draw. Fighting a Manny Pacquiao, he becomes a draw automatically because he's going to beat Manny. He'll beat Manny. And once he beats Manny, that's going to be all the stock. He'll outside. Shit, that one fight with Manny, guarantee you he'll pass SYMST pay-per-view numbers just with one fight with Manny. So now he's there. Now he's there. The stock is there, all of that. So, yeah, man. Bob got to make that fight happen. Let me see what y'all talk about. Ben Askren was a 2-time. Yeah. Wrestling for sure. What's up, Princess? Can I get, damn, bro, you kidding me? Fuck, man, I'm gonna have to go to the other store. All right. Damn, bro, they ain't got shit on the shelf in this store. Yeah, that's what I was telling people, Maestro, that he's a long time. He's long time in combat sports. Is Ben Askren, and that's the thing with Jake Paul. You know, and Jake Paul and Logan Paul and these two guys. You know, combat sports. What it shares in common is all of these guys are fighting, taking punishment, cutting weight. You know, going rounds. They're working on cardio. Ben Askren's been doing this for most of his life. What Jake Paul and Logan Paul was doing was YouTube, messing around and doing these little weird videos. And Ben Askren was in the gym, cutting weight, building stamina. So those things give Ben Askren the edge, bro. Getting into trouble. You know, when you get fatigued, when you start getting tired, you have to be able to push through that. Who has the experience to push through that? It's clearly Ben Askren. You know, the longer it takes, if Jake Paul can knock him out, the longer it takes for Jake Paul to knock him out, the worse it is for Jake Paul. Because Ben has been in the deep waters. Remember, guys, this is an exhibition match. So Ben Askren has fought 5-minute rounds, 25 minutes of fighting. This fight ain't gonna go no fucking 25 minutes. So when we start looking at tank stamina, endurance, the ability to push through, every bit of that goes to the Askren side. Every bit of that goes to Askren's side. None of that goes on Jake Paul's side. So Askren has a lot of advantages in this fight, man. It's 50-50 fight. Matter of fact, I think Askren's a big underdog and shit. I'm going to put some money on Askren in this fight. Just because. Put him in a couple of parlays. Just because. He's an athlete. Yeah, for sure. Jake Triller in the building. Jake has spent a total of 6 minutes in the ring. Yeah, but he's been in a lot of sparring and he's been working. Those boys have been training, Jay. I ain't gonna take that from them. They've been training hard and they've been really taking this sport a lot more serious than people have. But still, it's just time. He has no amateur pedigree. I don't care how seriously you taking the sport. You're not an athlete. But they have been taking it serious. I will say that. And they're getting better. Even boxers are saying that they're getting much better and the kids can fight, both of them, Jake and Logan. So we don't have to like them to respect. That's the thing, bro. Even with the Pauls, I don't have to like someone to respect what they're doing in the ring. I can separate the two. I don't like either the Pauls. I don't like the element that they bring in the boxing. I don't like the fact that this celebrity is getting so much attention in boxing because they're not real athletes. So I ain't even with that either. But it has nothing to do with what they're able to do in the ring, with their ability to conquer in the ring. They still have that, right? So gotta give respect where respect due, bro. To be honest, Ben Askren is at a disadvantage concerning the sweet science, but to me, he's at an advantage everywhere else. because he's a combat warrior. He's been doing this his whole life. Jake Paul and Logan Paul are YouTubers, man. So interesting fight because he's not of the discipline, but you know, both of them have their advantages and disadvantages in this fight. Jeff, what's up with you, fam? What's good? Unrivaled Boxing Talking News says, God bless to you too, brother. Mando Solo, what's up? See, I think Dudu Andrade is going to stop Williams in the 7th. I don't know. I think Williams got a chance to upset Andrade. I'm going to bet on that one too. Hold on for a second, y'all. Good morning. How you doing? Could I get Irish cream, Dutch, and 2 wood tip sweets? Yeah. Cali in the building. What's good, brother? He said, forget ESPN or Fox. This is a 2 wood tip sweets. This is this is early sports talk. Appreciate you, Cali. Yeah, we don't need no damn Fox or ESPN. They don't do nothing but tell you lies anyway, Cali. You know your man D Jeff gonna kick that truth to you. So Liam Williams is toxic waste since Andre just oh man, that's terrible, Ronald. How you gonna do him like that? I heard yesterday, I guess Porter is talking Eddie Hearn. Oh, okay, I got you. I want to see Conor versus AB. That's a good shout. That's a good shout, Yuli. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Conor been destroyed. Conor Ben destroys Con and Brooke at the set. Yeah. I think he will as well. But I think that's a great name for him to have on his resume because either of those guys. But yeah, we should expect that Conor Ben would definitely beat Brooke or Con, no doubt. Thank you. You too. Yeah, I would expect that. For sure. Don't let Porter fool you. He trying to corner his market for Doc. Well, look, Porter ain't fooling me. He not fooling me at all, Ronald. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I want you to ask yourself. Should Sean Porter have to corner the market for his dollars? Or should they just fucking pay him? Sean Porter's a warrior at the 147-pound division. And he has been. So why should he have to fight? Why should he have to corner the market? Why should he have to jump through hoops and finagle a payday that he freaking deserves, man? That's what's wrong with boxing. They want to pay Tank Davis all this money for doing this nonsense. And this is the PBC we talking about, right? They want to pay Tank Davis for all of this foolery he doing. Why you think we're not getting a Gary Russell Jr. match? Gary should have been in the ring. Gary Russell should have been fighting. But the problem is the PBC don't want to pay the right people. They want to pay for all of this tomfoolery, and they don't want to pay the right guys. Sean Porter shouldn't have to finagle anything. He should be a value in this sport, everything he's given to this sport. Be perfectly honest, but back to Liam Williams and Andre, because that was the next topic anyway. 60-40 fight that I see here, guys. Not 50-50. Andre, in my opinion, Andre has to be favored. You know, Andre has his issues, but he damn sure has its pros and cons with Andre. I have my issues with Andre, but let's be honest. His pros do outweigh the cons, which is why he's a freaking champion. Now, yeah, he's a champion. He hasn't fought the best level of competition. But as I said, there are pros and cons in this game. Pros and cons. And it's not as if Demetrius Andrade, you know, his cons outweigh the pros. It's not like that. Like, he has issues. He has balance issues. He has issues with transitioning his weight and planting his feet. And I think he's somewhat timid. But when we talk about the things he do well, that he is elusive, that he can outscore most of the guys in the division. You know, he has the ability to outscore most of them, if not all of them. And when he does set his feet, he has good pop with him. We've seen spells and fights where you can see that Demetrius Andrade can really box. So we know all of these things about him. and his pros definitely outweigh his cons. So, uh, I have to make this fight. And then he's a champion. And when we look at Liam Williams, this is probably the toughest fight that Demetrius Andrade has fought in his career. But I would not say it's the highest level opponent. Remember, styles make fights. Okay, styles make fights. So stylistically, I think that it appears that Liam Williams is going to be a really tough matchup for Demetrius Andrade. However, that does not mean that this was his highest level opponent that he's faced in his whole career, because it's absolutely not. You could consider resume-wise Sulecki being a higher level opponent than Liam Williams. You could definitely consider, and I would consider Jack Colque being a higher level opponent than Liam Williams. Some people would make the argument that Vanis Monterosian is a higher level opponent than Liam Williams. All three of those guys can be considered a higher level opponent than Liam Williams because of the battles they had, how they looked in those fights, and who they fought. But stylistically, I believe that Liam Williams is certainly the toughest opponent that Demetrius Andrade would face. Most certainly the toughest opponent. So, 60-40 fight, man. 60-40 fight. Now, I don't mind anyone picking Liam Williams over Demetrius Andrade because that pressure that come forward, that style, his ability to cut off the ring, because Liam can cut off the ring, those things are bonuses for him going in here with this Demetrius Andrade fight. And I'm really interested in this fight because I believe Liam Williams can hurt Andrade. I believe we may get a drop. Liam Williams could actually drop Andrade in this fight, and Andrade could still win it. This is a pretty interesting fight, and I like the fight. I would have much rather see Andrade institute his WBO exclusion and fight Billy Joe Saunders or get in there with GGG or Murata, but I'm not going to shit on this fight because, first and foremost, it's the best fight in his entire career, and it's definitely a valid opponent. Liam Williams is definitely a valid opponent. So, shout out to Andrade for this fight, man. I gave him respect earlier on. He and Devin Haney, I did a live a while ago, giving Andrade the respect for Liam Williams. And Devin Haney, at the time, it was respect for Javier Fortuna or Linares, whichever one he was going to fight. I was giving him respect for both of them on that live because I had heard about Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna backdooring Devin Haney way back then. And I was like, man, this is crazy. They're going to end up fighting each other. But I'll give Devin Haney respect if he fights Jorge Linares or Javier Fortuna because they're both step-up fights concerning his career and the level of competition. So, with that being said, Demetrius Andrade gets all the respect in the world for this fight. I blame Eddie Hearn, which you guys were on the live when I did that. I'm finally back home. I'm going to check you out in the chat again. I was driving a lot. But I blame Eddie Hearn and DAZN at this point for Andrade because they're not, and the negotiations need to start after this fight with Liam Williams with either Murata, Charlo, or GGG, period. Or DAZN and Eddie Hearn are just ridiculous when it comes to Andrade. So if they're not doing what they're supposed to do to him, I can't continue to flame Demetrius Andrade because I don't feel like Hearn and them are doing what they're supposed to do for him to get him into the valid fights, period. I'm blaming them. Great fight for Demetrius Andrade. Best fight of his career. I have no complaints for him. Good luck to both of these guys. I'm not rooting for Demetrius Andrade. I am rooting for Liam Williams. I hope he wins the fight, but I don't think he will. It's the same thing with Masaoshi Nakatani and Felix Verdejo. I had the same mind frame then. I was rooting for Felix Verdejo because I'm a Felix Verdejo fan, partially biased, Puerto Rican thing. But I picked Nakatani to win the fight. Okay? Same situation here. I'm rooting. I can't wait to see him fight Perella, Jeff. Man, so knowing Crawford's track record, I'd say he's likely to fight Josecito Lopez. That would be trash, bro. He's gonna get trashed over that. But I heard that whisper too, Mando Solo. You go overseas to fight Josecito Lopez, that would be so much trash. He should get. All right, guys, let me go in the house and switch, get back on the computer because this phone is starting to fucking heat up, bro. Tell you what, man, the StreamYard be burning the hell out of your battery. I don't know if any of you guys go on StreamYard online, mobile, but two things, they burn the hell out your battery, and I don't know, with my phone, it heats it up something terrible. Phone start overheating. I'm gonna switch to the computer. Kira, you want smoke? Huh? All right. Split up. All right. Easier for me, nigga. Shit. My daughter. Yes, that's how I talk to my daughter. Y'all should just hear how she talks to me. JC, what's good? Ant, what's up, my man? Ant Thunderdome Boxing. I know all of you guys know about Thunderdome Boxing. If you don't, go check out my man Ant over there at Thunderdome. Good to see you, Ant. Good to see you, brother. Mr. D, that fight is historical. Fury was versus. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Cali. 5% to Crawford, 95% to Spence. Right, Yuli. That's the kind of foolishness they're trying to pull, man. Spence is my guy, but you're right, bro. Something stupid like that. Thanks, brother. Champ Ross in the building. What's good? What's good? All right, guys, I'm sliding down. I'm just able to catch up to the chat. I was driving. Crazy D, what's good with you, fam? What's up? What's up? Bud has to KO Porter if he ain't fighting Manny. Yeah, but it's not going to be Porter because Porter had the COVID situation. It's too soon. He don't even have enough time for that training camp. And they're talking about he's going to be fighting in June in the Middle East, so it won't be Porter, Crazy D3. Right now, these are the names that I've heard. These are the names that I've heard. Thurman, Josecito Lopez, and Michael Soto. That's the only thing I've heard. What else Spence got, D? Jefferson? What do you mean, what does he got? I don't know what you're talking about, Ron. What do you mean? What do you mean, what does he got? A lot of people seem to think Fury. Yeah, because they're idiots, man. I'm not. Look, bro. I think that fight's happening. I don't see no way boxing, the sport of boxing, lets go of 500 million. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. And I gotta stick with that. I don't think the sport of boxing, Eddie Hearn, MTK Global, Top Rank, Frank Warren, WBC, and all the other sanctioning bodies, I don't think all of these people allow $500 million to slip through their fingers. So all of you doubters, keep having your doubts. If you guys think boxing is going to let $500 million slip through their fingers, have your doubts, because that's also what you're talking about. Yeah, this fight ain't happening. Boxing going to let $500 million go to the wayside. Y'all must be crazy, bro. Just y'all not even thinking logically. Why? All of these greedy motherfuckers, we don't get fights because they so greedy. With all of that money, Suleiman, greedy, he involved. Bob Arum, Suleiman and Bob Arum, the two greediest motherfuckers in this sport. Y'all really think that they're not going to make that fight happen? These two greedy bastards. Do you know Bob Arum gets 10%? Y'all know what 10% of 100 million is? That's $10 million. Suleiman gets 3%. That's $3 million. That's $3 million. You think that these people are going to let that money go away? Please, man. Y'all better wake up. This fight happens. Flat out. This fight happens. I don't care about no announcement. And you know what else, Jeff? I was just saying this earlier. Look at the magnitude of that fight. the size of that fight and everything, right? Then, and you got people doubting this fight because the announcement hasn't been made. Manny Pacquiao and Terence Crawford haven't even started negotiations yet. Let's not forget, these two fights is June for Crawford, June for Fury and AJ. So you got people doubting that they'll let $500 million get away, but people still feeling like Manny Pacquiao and Crawford is on. Now, what's more important, $500 million or $50 million? See how the fans don't think? So if y'all got confidence that Pacquiao and Crawford is happening, then you gotta have confidence in Joshua Fury. Y'all think they're gonna take priority and put on a $50 million fight and not a $500 million deal, 2-fight deal with these guys? Come on, bro. Stop that, bro. Boxing not letting that money slide. I don't believe Fury Joshua happening until I see. I don't know, man. I believe it's happening. I don't know why y'all got so many doubts. I think it's happening. Fish, what's up, Fish? Champ said, if anyone interested in joining the Fantasy Boxing Prediction League, send me an email at champez22@yahoo.com. Or if you have Facebook, like the page, Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Like that page. You can join there also. Free to play, cash and prizes offered. Appreciate you, champ. New season starts next week. That's right. We're in the last season, so get over there. Don't be scared. D. Jefferson had a bad season this week. I still think I'm going to pull off the top 20, which is respectable. I'm just used to sitting at top of the mountain, but not this season. So it's on and popping again. Next season, the goal is to beat D. Jefferson. I'm back in the building. Season's over with. ALD cried over spilt milk. Crawford, 34 years old. Sad if it doesn't happen. Yeah, for real. Next couple, forget about that, bro. They need to fight next. Take Pacquiao or Josecito, whoever you're going to dick around with. Spence, you get this, you guys fight and get it in. If either of them fight Boots or Virgil and not fight each other, I'm flaming them. Either of them. They better fight each other. And whoever's responsible, I'm flaming them. Their team, I don't care. D3, I get why you would feel that way. The only timeline, I take Fury seriously inside of the ring. But my gut tells me it will. It is going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen, fam. They have been cooking for like 4 years. That's not happening. Yeah, Spence. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was at the store. I need some breakfast, man. You know, I got to get my breakfast, fish. Jack C, what's good with you? D, what up? Mark put up a poll asking the fans, do they think he fights next? Who you talking about, Jack? You got 5, he fight next. But break that down for if the fight's next. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go check that poll. I'm gonna go respond to it too. I'm gonna hit yes, of course. Believe it or not, Terence Crawford is already the same number, at the same number as Spence. That's why it's 50. Look, Ronald, I'm not talking about that. He's not in any number as Spence. Stop it, bro. It's not a 50-50 fight. Not by the numbers, not by the books. Crawford has 0 stock. And the only reason he's getting $4 million is because Bob overpaid him, which Bob came out and said he overpaid him. So stop this nonsense, bro. You're guaranteed, which is what Crawford, this is what his money is banked off of, his guaranteed pay. Your guaranteed pay has nothing to do with what you're worth, Ronald. Do you get it? Bob and Top Rank made an assessment. This is what we're going to pay Crawford. First and foremost, we want to lock him in. We want to please him. And we think that we can make this money back. We're comfortable. And this is the guarantee we're going to give him. They're taking a chance on that, Ronald. But because they take a chance on it, that doesn't establish your stock in this game. So, believe it or not, not. I don't believe it because I don't know who you've been talking to. Probably guys that are not pro-Spence, anti-Spence, anti-PBC, and that's where all of that shit is coming from. Because I see you on a lot of anti-Spence, anti-PBC channels, Ronald. Fuck that. I'm not going with nothing that ain't reasonable, and it's just not reasonable. He don't have it, bro. 4-belt undisputed and at 140 and pound for pound don't give you stock, Ronald. That doesn't put stock in you. You sound like Crawford. That's what Crawford believes. That's why he don't get it. And you don't get it, neither do Crawford. Don't work like that. I'm tired of talking about who's 50. I said this. PBC and Spence should just give them 50-50. If they think they can win, they should just give them 50-50 because all 4 of those belts, him accomplishing 4-belt undisputed, is worth more than the little money they're haggling over. So if it comes down to that, Ronald, I believe they should give him the money. It should be 50-50. That's what I believe, Ronald. But forget about what we believe. It's about how this sport works. And right now, with what Crawford's done in this game, he's not 50-50. Period. Period, bro. Period. And I'll argue that with anyone. Box fans, what's good? Samuel Shaw, what's up with you? Anthony Willis in the building, what's up? What's up? He said Aaron would be getting more than 10%, bro. No doubt. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. But that basis, he's going to get 10%. You understand what I'm saying? Anthony. But yeah, you know Bob's gonna finagle to get as much as he could, fam. He got 20% off of Teofimo in this George Kambosos Jr. fight. And that this I show you the greed of Bob Arum and Top Rank, because how when you put on a fight with a fighter, like you're responsible for the fight, you're putting on the fight, you're getting the venue and picking all of that. Top Rank takes 10%. But if he goes to purse bid and someone else do it, they take 20%. So y'all take a whole extra 10%, double the money, and do less work? What the hell? What kind of deals? What? This is like a 360 deal from the damn music industry. So yeah, Anthony, I'm with you all day. Definitely he'll try to get more than that 10% for sure. Blocking the super fight, all because Wilder went snowflake. Nah, bro. I don't know what you mean by that, Ronald. Let me see. Blocking a super fight, all because Wilder went snowflake in the hurt business. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah. That game, get the fuck out of here with that, bro. You done bumped your head. Nobody but silly ass Wilder fans want that. Period. That's the stupidest. Wilder versus Fury first is stupid, fam. It's stupid. It's dumb. I don't know. I don't understand you Wilder fans, bro. He got beat up. He got beat up. He didn't take his loss like a man. He made excuses. He sold wolf tickets trying to scare Fury out of the fight because he said if you don't fight him next, he was going to sue, which he never sued. And now you Wilder fans still clamoring on about some Wilder Fury 3 first. That's stupid. Didn't I just tell you it's a $500 million fight versus a $30 million fight? Stupidity, number one. The majority of the boxing fans, the boxing world, would rather see 4-belt undisputed, something we've been waiting on 21 years. Second reason is stupid Wilder versus Fury first. And Wilder has done nothing but make excuses and make a mockery of himself. Third reason why it's stupid. Nobody but Wilder, idiotic Wilder fans are pushing for Wilder Fury 3 first. That's stupid. It doesn't make sense financially. It doesn't make sense for boxing fans. It doesn't make sense for boxing. You don't hold off 4-belt undisputed for Wilder, who's not even taking this damn sport seriously. Him or Finkel or Heyman and them on his behalf. He is probably the worst, one of the worst American heavyweights that have represented this country. No one cares about that but you and Wilder fans, dead gang. That is the stupid fight. It does not have any validity of being in front of 4-belt undisputed. Nobody cares about that. Before 4-belt undisputed, no one but Fury, what Wilder lovers and PBC detractors. That's it. That's it, bro. Cares about that fight, bro. I'm actually getting ready to shut it down, Mark. But I'm gonna send you I'll send you a link I'm gonna see your link on Twitter right quick. All right, there you go, fam. I just sent it to you, Mark. Yeah, I just sent it to you. We got about 15 minutes, Mark. 15 minutes, brother. Jay Kyle in the building. What's good? What's good? Yeah, but that's even better. 40%. He deserves that. Come on, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Me personally, I would give him that without Manny Pacquiao, Mando Solo. But they're not looking at it like that. But he got to get at least 40. Yeah, I'm with that. Like they trying to. PBC is trying to Jew down. They trying to beat down Crawford by the number, bro. It's like it's no good, man. It ain't no good with PBC doing in that situation. What's up, Mark?
Hey Jeff, how's it going, sir? How are you doing today, man? God bless.
Oh, great, man. God bless you too, bro.
How's things, man? You know the way sometimes I like to go off into my own head and start thinking about certain situations in the sport day and come up with random ass theories of what I think might happen, right? I've been thinking really hard about the Crawford Spence scenario, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if anyone's put a video out like this. I think Crawford's going to finish out his top-ranked contract. And they're not going to renew it. And he's going to be in a situation where it's either go with a couple fights with the PBC and then fight Spence. But what I think is going to happen is I think Eddie's going to come in. I think Matchroom going to come in DAZN with the DAZN money. And they're going to try and look to bring him over, like, sell him pound for pound. They built in Eddie Hearn UK audience, all this, do fights, and possibly even a Virgil Ortiz fight.
Yeah,
I really think that's what they're going to look to do.
I could see that. I could see that because I can respect Crawford and how he holds himself, his value in the sport, and all that. He wants to get his bread now, and I can see that happening, bro. Eddie's a smart guy. Eddie's about putting these fights on and bringing the most value out of it too for the fighters. So that's a good scenario. Mark, I said a while back that I'm with you on point two with that, because I said a while back that Crawford was gonna not re-sign with Top Rank and do a 2-fight deal or something with the PBC. Just like I said then, make sure he gets it written in that that
Spence guaranteed.
Yeah, the expense is guaranteed. Like, don't take no freaking chances on that, because they'll crawfish his ass in a heartbeat, and like they did Pacquiao. You know what I mean? He got to put it in writing so he can sue their ass if they don't come through with it.
Like, there really isn't many options in the welter division, or even if people are like, why doesn't he just move up? It's the same scenario there. PBC have a complete oligopoly. Like a complete oligopoly. Like they nearly have everything in those two divisions.
They do, man. They do. That's why I want Crawford to get this Pacquiao fight so bad, bro. He needs to get this Pacquiao fight. He got to get it, bro. If he don't get this Pacquiao fight, I was saying earlier before you jumped on, I got this fight with Spencer and Crawford. I'm so disinterested in the arguments. I'm like at 80-20. 80% it don't happen, 20% it do. If he don't get that Pacquiao fight, that shit drops like to 99-1 to me. I think we'd never get it, because Crawford ain't going to let them beat him down on the money. But if he don't get this Pacquiao fight and get some stock in himself, that's exactly what they're going to try to do. Beat him down with the money. And he ain't going to deal with that. So we'll never get that fight, fam. We'll never get it.
I don't think we will ever get the fight. Are we talking about Spence Crawford?
Yeah, we'll never get the fucking fight, bro.
I think it's the American Amir Khan Kelbrook.
Touche. That's exactly what it's shaped
Like
up to be.
at a higher scale. It's at a higher scale because actually I don't even know because I feel like Cal Brook and Amir Khan would have done more views. I'm not joking on that. That was huge in 2015.
Back then,
Huge.
back then,
Yeah,
hell yeah, it could have
massive.
sold more. It could have sold more. Yeah, it's very possible. Very
But
possible.
as far as this one goes, this is the US equivalent, and it's at a higher scale because of championship success and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The two main guys in the division, and it's a fight that I really desire but don't anticipate because I'd love to see them two dudes get into the ring, squared off, and let's end all this argumentative nonsense that I've been hearing for since 2015, 2016. You know, I
Bro,
want
I
to.
never thought, Mark, that I would get disinterested in that fight. I never thought that I would get to that point where I was just like, man, F that fight. And I've arrived. I have
Yeah.
arrived.
Me
I
too.
never thought I
Like,
would
don't.
get there, but I've arrived. Fuck that fight, bro. Like, I don't care no more. Because then, like, this shit is I'm tired of it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Mm-hmm.
tired of it. And if Spence don't, look, and I said this too. I don't know if you was on the panel on in the live the other day. If this motherfucker in the PBC, Al Heyman, blame Spence, Heyman, Man's Down Promotion, whatever. I don't care who you point the finger at. If they don't pursue Crawford after you guys, I'm done with Spence. I'm done with him. Just like I relinquished Tank, like I relinquished Jamal Charlo, like I relinquished Deontay Wilder. I'm not supporting him no more. D. Jefferson will not be a Spence fan no more. I'm
Because
telling you.
he would have done what he. I think that's the thing that people need to remember when it comes to Spence. Like he's working himself into he's worked himself into having more leverage in terms of negotiations for money, and by doing what he's doing, cleaning out that side of the street, he's if he beats Ugas, that means he's done it. He's got those 3 belts. Now there's
Right.
only one to do, and if he doesn't take the fight, that's when it's like right,
All
you
right,
were
okay.
capping, you were capping.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts. Mark, talk to the people right quick. I gotta switch off. Go back to my computer. I'll be
Yeah,
right
no
back.
worries.
Okay.
No worries. Right, so fellas, let me go up to Manda Solo's comment here. I've given up on that fight. I'm almost certain how Spence and Crawford ain't gonna happen. You know, bro, I kind of feel you on that. We do feel you on that, man. That's a tricky one. Like the idea of that fight happening, it's like it's a fight that should happen, but the way the politics have been shaping themselves up over the last 4 years, it's just been telling you, don't hold any optimism in this. I mean, there's a few things that maybe if they align themselves, maybe it'll happen. But we all know who's going to be the one who has to give in. That's Bud. But Bud's currently sitting on 4 million a fight. What the hell is he going to want to give in for a pay-per-view fee where he's getting 30%, and he'll be even lucky if he even cracks into 3-4 million for that fight for the biggest fight of his career. Like he's not
No
going to want to
freaking
do that.
way.
It's not going to make sense to him.
And he
Like, and
should.
that's
He
he
should.
shouldn't. The biggest fight of your career, like, shouldn't be equaling what you're getting paid. And the reality of it is, even though he's getting paid more than he's probably worth, right? And that's my assumption. I don't feel he's worth 4 million a fight. The reality of it is that he is getting 4 million a fight. For example, if I had a job and I was working, let's say I was working in a Walmart, right? And I was stacking shelves, and Walmart said, "Hey, yo, we're paying you $22.50 an hour," right? And then
Right.
Walmart went bust, and then I went over to Little for a new job or Aldi, and they said, "Hey, yo, we're paying you $11.50." It's like, "Hey, yo, no, I was getting paid this," and they're like, "Yeah, but that wasn't the going rate. They
Yeah,
were
fuck.
overpaying you." I'll be like, "What the fuck then? No, I ain't taking that shit. I'll take a different one. I'll try and find a different one. Try and find a better option." And that might happen with Crawford because they may come in and they may be like, "Hey, yo, you were getting 4 million. Here you go. Here's 70-30 in favor of Spence. Hey, yo." The fight does, let's say they get a guarantee of 3, he gets a guarantee of 3, Spence gets a guarantee of 5, and then Crawford gets 30% on the back end. That could end up only coming out at 2 million, 3 million for him extra. And that'd be like 5-6 million. Like he'd be thinking to himself, why would I give up this contracted possible DAZN money where DAZN could come in. And I know Raider said in the chat a minute ago, the zone won't push him as pound for pound number one as long as Nelo's there. This situation, though, is Nelo's got one more fight with the zone and with Matchroom at the moment. He's not on any long-term contract with the zone anymore. That contract got changed. So Canelo can go anywhere after that Billy Joe Saunders fight.
I still don't think they'll push him as number one because they're gonna want to do more business with Canelo.
That's true. They may not push him as pound for pound number one, but I also said Eddie Hearn will push him. If Eddie Hearn signs him, trust me, Eddie Hearn will push him as pound for pound. Eddie Hearn pushed Jorge Linares as pound for pound number 3 when he fought Anthony Crawford, for fuck's sake.
That's a fact. Well, fuck. That's what promoters are supposed to do.
Exactly. He sells the shit.
Said that Tyson Fury would beat Ali before he went into Wilder. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're supposed to do, dog. But look, Mark, before we close this out, because I didn't get on the last topic, but I'm glad you jumped on here. Because the last issue was this Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna situation. And real quick, Ant said Bud doesn't want to fight anyone, not even Virgil. He wants to fight fighters he knows he can beat. He has been doing this his whole career. It's just becoming more obvious now. I think a lot of it was circumstantial. Some fights he could have taken, and I do agree with it. But I think at this juncture, I can't blame Bud. And me personally, I know that, you got to kind of track guys and look how they've been moving throughout their career. But in this current atmosphere, this whole 147-pound division, I cannot give Crawford heat like that and say that he doesn't want to fight anyone, because clearly the PBC have been keeping those guys away from him. I mean, we would be remiss to not acknowledge the fact that the PBC have been keeping these guys away from him. So if we say that Bud doesn't want to fight him, and we know the PBC have been keeping these guys away from Bud, I can't really ride with that idea that it's Bud that don't want to fight these guys, bro. I don't know. I could be wrong. And like I said, I know we got to kind of look at what guys have been doing, but there were a lot of things that were circumstantial with Bud and the smaller weight classes, being guys didn't want to get in the ring with him. Some fights he could have taken on, but you got 2 or 3 fights you can really complain about at 35 and 40. Where you say that Bud too, really, the argument would be Mikey and Loma, but who else? And it's not like he been freaking running away from fighters. Bud's one of these guys that's really trying to get in the ring, but at 147, I can't give Bud Crawford heat, man. What do you think about that, Mark? Like, you give Bud the heat about not wanting to fight anyone, or what do you think about that?
It's really hard for me to say he doesn't want to fight anybody because I don't know. But what I know is that he is showing that he doesn't really mind sitting on $4 million a fight. You know what I mean? So he's shown that he has the propensity to not give a shit, and he said multiple times, "I don't care about that fight no more." And it's like, oh yeah, I don't need Porter or whatever. So you don't need these fights in your mind. You're happy just making your bread. So maybe that's a probability. I don't think his promotional outlet is really helping in terms of pushing out a bit more money. I mean, if the main complaint about Crawford is his resume, and you're overpaying people like Brooke or whatever who's way past it, you should probably be paying, especially to a rival promotion who don't need to send over their fighter. They can do in-house stuff. You should probably be paying a little bit more. That may be Bob being a little bit cheap, but also at the same point, at welterweight, the entire division landscape has been like, yeah, we're all going to fight each other. You're not going to matter. And it's showing that he's not mattering because he hasn't been able to fight anybody.
Right.
The fight I anticipated the most for Crawford during his entire welterweight time was the one against Egas, because Egas could hit hard, and I seen him beat Avanesyan, who I've always rated as a good fighter. So based
real
off
quick, Mark, guys, we're gonna rock till 10, and then I really gotta get out of here because me and my daughter gotta go get her car. But go ahead, Mark.
Oh yeah, bro. I can piece out just on this statement here. Based on all of that, it just leaves me to think, maybe he doesn't want to fight anybody, or maybe he just doesn't care who he fights, so long as he get paid.
Yeah, and now, and don't get me wrong, bro. Like you got validity to the shit you say. Like I ain't like I'm not going at you because just like Mark just broke down, you can give that appearance when you sit there and you start talking about I don't care about this. You're not fighting fights, and you look comfortable sitting there taking that 4 million. So you know what you say, Ant. Now what you saying right here, Ant? We eye to eye, brother, man. Because I think Bud will get beat by Spence too. And no, he hasn't fought a guy at that caliber to push him like that. So we eye to eye right there. And I want to touch on this last comment that Ant put up there. It's because Bob Arum is known to underpay fighters like he offered Porter $2 million. He knew Porter wasn't going to take that. I'm with you there 100% too, Ant, because when he first initially came out with the $1 million offer, I went apeshit, went around all around talking lowball. The biggest freaking tweet I ever put out on Twitter was due to this lowball situation, and all of these Crawford fans didn't want to accept it. It ain't no lowball. What you talking about? Tell PBC to pay the money. It was clearly a lowball offer, and what Ant is saying here is absolutely true. And this is the type of heat that I give to Bob Arum, where no one is above criticism. I'm not saying it's all Bob Arum's fault. Hell no. You know how much PBC and Heyman got to do with it. A lot of it has to do with them too. I'm not saying it's all Bob Arum's fault, but when we sit here as fans and try to exonerate Bob Arum on everything, that's where you go wrong. And what Anna's saying here is absolutely true, which means that's a part of the reason we're not getting this fight. Not the entire reason, but Bob's foolery is a part of the reason we don't get certain fights. And you cannot exonerate Bob Arum when it comes to these situations.
You can't exonerate Bob Arum for being cheap, bro. Like that.
Right. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just obvious. But anyway, Mark, Ryan Garcia, Javier Fortuna, I'm going to give you my idea on this. I trashed the kid enough about this fight, but it was more or less because of the clout chasing, the duck on Devin Haney. But I will say this. It's a valid fight. See, people get it twisted when I say, oh, Ryan need to do this. He ducking Devin Haney. Even still, Ryan Garcia, Javier Fortuna is a good fight. What do you think about that, Mark?
Well, Devin's fighting Linares, so there really isn't a lot of options left for Ryan at the moment. Like, who could he fight? Comey, maybe. Maybe Nakatani, Lomachenko. I mean, they ain't gonna put him in there with guys that are over on ESPN, because they're all ESPN, every last one of them.
Right, yeah.
Fortuna, he's ranked inside the top 10 with Ring Magazine. I think they have him ranked number 6, and because there's a ring champion, I think that's number 7. I also believe he's ranked inside the top 10 on TBRB, the transnational boxing ratings, I believe. So that kind of gives you an idea. Now, for me, I personally believe he's a solid opponent to some extent. He hits hard. He can cause problems for Ryan. Because I don't like the fact that Ryan is always in the exact same spot because he can't move his feet. I'm going over to TBRB right now. No, they don't have Fortuna inside the top 10. That's interesting. They don't have him there, but they have Emmanuel to go in there.
I was about to say it's interesting and it's disrespectful as fuck.
They have
in the top 10 of every sanctioned body.
They have Tank in there, and he's not even fighting there. They have to go in there, and he's not beating anybody. He's not even beating anybody.
Well, he just beat up Julius and Dongle. What's that? I mean,
no, that's Yeli Usanov, I believe.
No, that was Yeli Usanov. You're right. Yeah,
that's
man.
But yeah, Fortuna's a solid enough guy to have in the ring with Ryan. Like, I mean, Ryan's a lot larger than him. Fortuna's a pumped up super feather. But I don't know, man. I think watch the space, maybe a potential upset on the cards. But if Fortuna's not that bad. I mean, like, he destroyed Lozado, right? He destroyed Lozado, who destroyed Verdejo.
Yeah. Off the accident, though. Off of the accident. Like,
accident or no accident, I think Verdejo is always going to be built the same, to be honest with you.
I feel you. I can only give, like, I mean, look, man. I just give merit to that accident. Lozado, I think Lozado that fought fucking Javier Fortuna, I feel like Verdeo blasted him, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I'm cool with the fight. Like, look, there isn't really a lot of other options out there. Everybody seems to just want. From what I see, people normally complain about a fight being made because it's not against the main person they think can beat them. Instead of looking at can this person beat them.
Right, exactly. There you go. And that's that's well said, Mark. I couldn't even have said it any better myself. That's the perspective that I was trying to get to, because you're gonna hear people say, "Oh, D flip flopping now," because I'm getting ready to start pumping this fight up, Ryan versus Javier Fortuna.
I'm gonna enjoy it. I like
it. Giving it so much heat because he ducked Haney. What you just said is the perspective I'm talking about. It's still a guy that can potentially beat him, which means it's still a good fight. So now that he ducked Haney, now that he's clout chasing duck Pacquiao and Tank, that's all over with. Let's talk about this good fight we get ready to have, because it is still a good fight. So you can call it double talking or whatever. I already gave him the heat for ducking. He ducked Haney. I already gave him the heat for clout chasing. He clout chased. So let's talk about the good fight now.
If he wins this fight, right, he's the only mandatory for Haney. So if he doesn't invoke as mandatory at that point, then everybody can go off on it. But I'll give you this. But if his next fight after that, if he does go in and go for the Haney fight, nobody complained with his last 3 fights if it was Luke Campbell, Fortuna, and Haney. No one can complain with that. That's fucking strong.
He would have the second best resume of the young guns.
And that's if Haney also beats Linares as well. So, like, because that's not a foregone conclusion either, as much as some these fights, we don't know where we have an idea. Ryan has vulnerabilities and he has power with Luke, right? We've no clue where Devin is. Devin's a slick boxer, but we just do not know. Zelwer Abdullayev and Moran don't tell you much. Like, you're purely going off on your
chin or his power with Devin.
Yeah.
Chin or power. We know nothing about Devin's chin or power.
I had a gauge on his power. I have a gauge on his power based off of Gamboa.
Decent, right? Decent to minimal.
Maybe, like, if you were to rate it out of 10, maybe a 4.
Yep, there you go.
Like, he's not a puncher. The kid's a mover and a boxer and a jabber. But, like, that'll work for him. You know, he's very quick on his damn feet at changing angles. So, like, I mean, if he can work on some things and maybe get a little bit more man strength into him as he goes through the years, who knows what Devin will be. But we need to. This Linares fight will tell us things because Linares has vulnerabilities himself, right? He can be cut, he can be chinned, he can be knocked out. He's older now. But 2 things Jorge Linares brings outside of experience, right? He brings timing and accuracy with power. So that is a deadly combination.
And he has good footwork, right?
He's got good. And when we say good footwork, people will think fleet of foot. We're not talking fleet of foot here. What we're talking about here is good positional understanding of where his feet should be.
Exactly.
That's also a form of footwork.
Feet, well, you know, when he moves in and out, he has established solid footwork. Yes, for sure.
100%. But yeah, man.
Eho, real quick, Mark. Eho said, I get that Porter wants to get paid, but if he doesn't like the money, then why didn't he get inside to put up the money? Why didn't his team make the counter offer? Why not push for the purse bid? Then listen, Eho Park, because my guy, Ring IQ said this, right? Listen, man, it gets to the point, and here's my idea of it. Take it or leave it, because Ring IQ and I disagree on it, so you don't have to take it, because he doesn't take it. But here's my idea on it. Porter don't need to fight as much as Crawford needs to fight. Period. Crawford needs a win over Porter. Huge. Big time. So no pressure goes on the PBC to do shit. No pressure goes on Porter to do shit. The pressure goes on Bob Arum, Crawford, and Top Rank. That was my response to that, bro.
You see, Crawford, he's in a position where people want to see him fight the best, right? Sean's in a position where we've seen him in there with good guys, win, lose, or draw, right? Top guys. And we can turn around and just go, you know what, if Sean retired tomorrow, even though he's less accomplished than Bud, we would be like, okay, well done, man. You did your job because that's what you were. But Crawford's like star potential idea, like of achievements, he's achieved so much, right? But there's still things that people feel because he's a more special talent, supposedly a pound for pounder, that he's got more to give. So if Porter retired tomorrow, people would be like, you know what? Sean deserves the break. If Crawford did, some people would be fucking pissed because there's fights that they want to see. They want to. Most people, they'll be happy to see Sean in there with Crawford, but it's because Crawford's fighting. Crawford's fighting somebody, you know. That's what it is. Whereas with Porter, if he were to fight against, let's say, Castillo Clayton, let's say Crawford fights Clayton, right? Everybody will be angry. But if Porter did, no, I get you, D, but a lot of people would be pissed at that level of opponents, right? On the face value of it. Whereas if Porter did, most people would be like, okay, Sean versus Clayton. Because Sean's already fought everybody. This dude hasn't. So one guy is kind of complete in win, lose, draw column against fighters, whereas the other guy, titles, he's completed. He's already completed what you need to complete in boxing to some extent. He's been an undisputed champion, three-way champ, right? But, and I'll leave it on this, he ain't got the names.
Yeah, agreed. Smack your leg. I agree. Yeah.
So, with that, I'll say God bless thee. Have a good one, man.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. End the show. Hey, everybody. Hold on. I want you to end the show for me, Mark. Hey, everybody. 130, part 5. We ended the series. 2 most popular divisions today at 130. Heavyweight and welterweight. Okay? Top guys in those divisions. And it was a great series. Go catch the playbacks if you didn't. We covered a lot of fighters, a lot of divisions, a lot of information out there for you guys. Wolf Speed, I see you jumped in here. Virtuoso, Anthony Willis, Jerome Benjamin, appreciate you. My brother Mark gonna end it for us. Mark, sending people away for us, dog.
Y'all know how we love to end this thing. For the love of sports. Let's talk about it.
Peace.